Just wanted to share a little bit of a story with you guys. It's about the day that I found out that my husband had passed away. He was in Denmark. We were in New York, Long Island. And that day, I was actually not at home. I was staying at a friend's house that was closer to the airport because I was supposed to be flying out to Florida to see my dad and my stepmom. And I woke up that morning, I was having my coffee, checking my messages, and I realized that I had some messages on Instagram that were like request messages. They weren't from a friend. And I didn't even know that area existed at that time. And so I started looking, and there was a series of messages starting from like a couple of days before, and those messages were, hi Gail, my name is Maria, I'm trying to get in touch with Jonathan, the son of Per. I believe that this is the right person. Please let me know if you're the right person. And just to back it up, my husband and I were not together at the time. That's another story. But anyway, so through the series of messages, I started to get more and more concerned. And then the last message said, Gail, it's really important. You need to call Bianca, Per's friend Bianca, as soon as you get this message. And at that point, I had this knot in my stomach. Oh no. I knew Bianca was Per's, one of his only friends, and lifelong friend. And so I quickly called her, and she proceeded to give me the announcement that Per had passed. And I was immediately devastated. I think there was a part of me that had always knew at someday I would get that call. I didn't expect it to be then or anytime super soon. That being said, I'm just gonna pause you for a second. So that morning, Bianca gave me the news. It's never something you'll never ever forget once you hear something like that. And so I was about an hour away from home, and I immediately called my mom, and I wanted to tell my son in person. Obviously, I'm not going to tell him over the phone. And so I canceled my flights to Florida. Had to call my dad, Diane, let them know. And we had to immediately mobilize to get back to Denmark over to Denmark because my husband had no next of kin there. And in Denmark, a next of kin has to claim next of kinship, next of whatever. So I was afraid that if we didn't get there really, really fast, that his body and everything would be turned over to the state and we wouldn't have any say. I also didn't know what authorities to contact. I was told that we were going to have to find the police and let them know immediately as soon as we got to Denmark. So I had to come home and let my son know. When I got home, it was probably maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know how else I would have done it. I could have waited until he woke up, but we were under the gun and we were under time constraints to get everything moving, get packed, and get to Denmark and do everything that was going to be needed. So I cried, like ugly cried the whole way home. Just the anguish, thinking about how am I going to tell my son? So I got home, cried some more to my mom, and then we had to come down to his bedroom and wake him up and tell him what happened. There's no gentle way. There's no gentle way to announce to a 20-year-old that his 60-year-old father has passed. There's just no gentle way. And so we woke him up as gently as possible and sat with him, and I said, you know, he doesn't wake up easily in the first place. Sat with him and I said, Jonathan, I need you to wake up. And I explained what happened, explained Dad was gone, and that we have to get to Denmark, like right away. I had to kick it into overdrive, pack us for a trip that I didn't know how was gonna last, how long, a couple of weeks maybe, I didn't know. It ended up being 5 weeks. I had to pack, I had to get us over there. I did. We were able to fly within 24 hours. I think I found out on Friday morning, and we were in Denmark by Sunday morning. And but moral of the story is that, or the end of the story is that, beginning of the story, waking up my son like that is a forever trauma. It's a trauma that he will never ever not have. And every time I have to wake up my son, both he and I have that same feeling. I had to walk in there this morning, but I mean, yes, to wake him up for Thanksgiving morning, and every single time I wake him up since that day, he sits up, like shoots up, sits up, and blinks, and you can just see like the horror in his face. The horror in his face as he adjusts once again to waking up. I can't say it's a regret. It was inevitable, but it's just such a sad thing, and it's something that I think about a lot. And I hope nobody ever has to have that experience themselves, because it's a forever experience that I would never wish on anyone. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I hope to never wake up in that kind of a state either. And yeah, I do. I feel so sad that that's a forever memory for him. All the rest of it too, but that one particular thing is just terribly regrettable. Anyway, Thanksgiving morning, I'm gonna go help this regrettable, stupid... I don't like Thanksgiving. I'm a vegetarian. I don't like the whole turkey shit. I don't like the whatever. It doesn't matter. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have a great day. And I will see you on the flip side. I got more stories to tell. Yeah, got lots more to tell. Probably over the next couple of days, because I'll tell you about that later. Have a good day.